guys, a long time no see. So today I am going to be talking about past lives and my specific past lives in particular. So I find learning about mine and other people's past lives extremely fascinating. I've loved reading Dolores Cannon books, and I'm actually taking her course to become a QHHT practitioner, which is quantum healing hypnosis technique, and visiting a past life is part of that session. I have to do 25 practice sessions on friends and family first, so I'm really excited to start that. But because of that, I wanted to talk about my past lives and how learning about them have helped me learn and understand myself more. It has helped me to understand why I have certain fears or issues in this lifetime. It has shown me the true essence of my soul, because even all these lifetimes are even though they're all different, the essence of who I am is the same. And I express that in different ways in these different lives, but you'll be able to see. So before I do go into the specific past lives, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself, so you'll understand and be able to see, you know, the similarities. All right. First off, I'm a life path number 9. I'm an INFJ, so this is most likely my last incarnation on Earth. I am also a starseed, so I don't think I should be here in the first place, but I'm trying to help out, you know, the story of my life and all my previous lives. Because I am such an old soul and have lived so many different types of lives and in so many different places, I have gained a lot of wisdom throughout those lifetimes. You carry that wisdom with you into the next and future lifetimes. So I'm trying to think of a way to sound this without sounding pretentious, but whenever I tried something, I was usually pretty good at it. And seeing how my past life, like seeing the things I did in my past lives, helps me understand why I, caught on very fast to things and, just picked them up very fast, because most of them were things that I've already done. So, yeah, I was always a straight A student, and I've also been extremely sensitive and extremely emotional. I'm also an empath. In my entire life, I was made fun of it for that and told I was too sensitive, and grew up believing that that was a weakness of mine. And seeing how my empathy played out in my past lives really just confirmed to me what a strength it is to be an empath. So I currently work as a registered nurse on a cardiovascular intensive care unit. So I am in the healing profession, but something that I have learned in this life is I need to express myself creatively. That is so important to me. It is like my form of meditation. So I also do have a business. It's mostly like bath and body products. I'm on Etsy. This is a whipped soap scrub, so it's whipped soap with sugar. This is strawberry shortcake body butter. Everything's all natural, handmade. You can check out my reviews. I also do make some home decor items. I make some like wall art pieces like this, and then also I make book stacks like this. But the point being, I need to express myself creatively, and for a good portion of my life, I didn't think that I was a creative person. I'm not going to get into how I found out that I was creative, because that's getting into a whole nother topic. But once creativity came back into my life, I realized it was elemental to my well-being. Also, because I am a starseed and an empath, I always felt alone, and that I was just different, and that I couldn't share my true beliefs because people, or who I really was, a starseed, because people would think I'm crazy. And so I've noticed just within the last year, you know, we are going through the ascension right now, I have felt a lot more comfortable talking about being a starseed to people I would have never even mentioned the word in front of before. And but there are still times where I'm like, oh my gosh, am I talking about this stuff too much? Like, they probably think I'm crazy. So that you'll see is kind of a running theme throughout my lives. Yeah, so I got these past life readings from Etsy. There are 3 different people that I ordered from. There's one that I mainly ordered from. Her readings are extremely detailed and accurate. But first, I want to go over, I purchased this from someone, and it's an Akashic Records reading for my current lifetime. You know what? I'm going to wait till the end, actually. Okay, so the very first reading I got, it was kind of a bundle of 3 lives. Your very first life on Earth, the one that is most relevant to you now, and then your most recent one before this lifetime. So I ordered that from StargazerOracle. So the first human lifetime on Earth that I can see for you happened in the territory of Europe. It was several thousand years before our era. You were a man from a rather simple tribe, which was unusual to your old starseed soul who had lived on other planets before that. You know, and this was my first reading, just reading that I was a starseed and having that confirmation. All right. Many things they believed in seemed like funny superstitions to you on a soul level before that incarnation. You didn't expect to learn much from your tribe's people per se. Your soul wanted to incarnate there as an adventure. You wanted to see if your wisdom of being an old soul and coming from more evolved civilizations would come through in that incarnation. You wanted to see if that would help you find your truth and maybe help your tribe's people evolve, or if you would follow what they taught you as a child. So you were challenging yourself and learning more about yourself that way. And in the end, it turned out that your past life memories from those other planets were strong, even if not completely clear. That's why you felt like you would rather walk your path than fit in your tribe, even though you had friendly relationships with most of those people. You became a loner by choice and dedicated your life to your spiritual journey and remembering who you were, because you felt there was much more than you could consciously remember. Your tribe's people remained friendly with you, but more and more often you would rather just go in nature and be in your own than spend time in their company. And so it was a very spiritual life, but that pushed you to find out more about yourself and connect with your true essence more. Overall, you were happy regardless of the opinions of others. It seems that you found a lot of what you searched for, and that gave you fulfillment and happiness. On a spiritual level, you also succeeded at your mission and proved to yourself that you would find your truth rather than become a follower and believe everything you're told. So, I'm definitely an introvert in this life as well, and I also deal with chronic pain. So, isolation is a big theme in my current lifetime as well. And just like it says there, most of the time I would rather just be by myself. All right, so next is the life that is the most relevant at the moment. Okay, I'll wait till after to tell you something. Okay, you were a woman in North America, and you were born into a family where witchcraft was practiced. As you can imagine, you were initiated into witchcraft, but at that time, burning of witches was especially popular there. So you got to experience how it is not to be accepted for who you are in society to an extreme degree. You were hiding family secrets, of course, and during the day pretended to be a normal woman, but this was just a facade. Secretly, you were very interested in paganism, connecting to nature, and co-creating with its energy. Although some part of you tried to escape it and be normal, especially when you were in fear. However, you were good at hiding and lived for a long time. You survived many times when people who organized these inquisitions came to your village and questioned people. You saw other girls who were just normal girls being taken instead of you, and other real witches that you knew. Later, you got engaged with a man whom you loved, and you were about to get married, but around that time, people started to suspect things. In the end, you were executed for practicing witchcraft before the chosen wedding day came, and you were burned alive, basically, which is a traumatic experience. You think so? But even then, you didn't curse them or use magic against them, despite how angry you were, which is great for you and your karma now. Still, it is probably a good idea to sit in meditation, feel whatever comes up when you're thinking about this lifetime, and let those feelings move through and then leave your body. Okay, and so then the most recent, the lifetime before my current lifetime, I was a man from China. Even when China wasn't developed, you were born in a family that was doing considerably well in terms of finances. Your father was someone important in port and earned enough to provide more than enough for you and your family. You had a comfortable childhood, even though your parents did pressure you to do well in everything regarding your education. They wanted to make you a multi-talented wonder kid out of you. It wasn't healthy and became an issue you needed to deal with and heal later as an adult because you felt like you always needed to earn love, like you didn't deserve it. But for the most part, at least it seems that you did heal. You were also interested in spirituality, especially Chinese spiritual practices, and that made all the difference. In other ways, they were loving and caring parents. They just didn't understand that what they thought was the best for you wasn't really the best. You also had several siblings who were close to you growing up, and they suffered similar pressure to do outstandingly well in everything. But your parents' pressure did help you with your career. With your amazing education, you were able to work in a field that played a big role in China's development. At that time, China wasn't a communist country yet, and during this transition, you were against it. You and many other people were for the differing governing system, but in the end, many of these people got punished. You weren't that active and got away with it and continued to live, but now the whole system was changing. People were having less freedom and you didn't like that. But in your personal life, you were married to a Chinese woman. She was also your best friend, and she loved the culture and the old traditions of China and was very into that historical aspect of it. You also had 2 children, as the one-child policy didn't exist then yet. Overall, it was a life when you saw many crazy things happening around you, sort of similar to what's happening now, but there were also many happy moments and happy things happening in your private life. So, I am a perfectionist, and I always had to go above and beyond, and I was never pressured. So now I can understand where that came from. It was pressure from my most recent past life. And even when I was a kid, I was like a wonder kid. When I was in high school, I was in all AP classes. I was on the swim team. I was on the soccer team. I was on National Honor Society. I was on the math team. Plus, I worked part-time. Like, I was a wonder kid. And I had always intuitively felt that I was a witch in a past life. And my first reading, there it is. So now the readings after this get even more accurate. So I started ordering from, real quick before I leave her messages, you can also ask about past lives with people who are currently in your life. So a parent-child relationship is, that usually means that they're part of your soul family. So your soul family are souls that you incarnate with in multiple different lifetimes. So I knew that my mom and I were going to have multiple past lives together. So let me get that up. You seem to have several past lives with Kara on Earth and also on other planets. Your souls have known each other for a very long time, and it seems that you're very close on the soul level. Your past lives on other planets are more physical and denser worlds than the ones described in the previous reading. I see you as the blue skin Andromedans, for example. You and Kara were siblings in that life. You had a close relationship and spent a lot of time on board starships, including humongous biosphere starships in the size of planets. It is a common way to live for many of the Andromedans. On Earth, too, you seem to have been family members very often, especially siblings. So that appears to be the main repeating theme and dynamic between you on Earth and beyond. But there are exceptions, of course. You have also been a married couple, knights from the same brotherhood who fought side by side, and co-workers in a place where tools for horse riding were made. Pretty interesting, right? I'm going to have to do my starseed readings in a separate video. I'm just going to do the Earth readings here. So these are just from the past few years. So I've always been a really good writer. My 5th grade teacher told me she thought I was going to be a famous author. But so I write poems occasionally, but I used to write full songs, but now what I mainly do is I just write like 16-bar verses, and it's kind of like journaling for me, but I also like the challenge of having to rhyme. This is also like, I'll journal. My personality aims to help humanity, Earth and everything it homes, the totality, everyone despite nationality or sexuality. Do I have the capacity to help dramatically? Need to help raise the consciousness, or else there will be consequence. We are our own worst adversary. The damage done to Gaia isn't temporary. Earth is experiencing an ascension, going from a 3rd to a 5th dimension. Move towards love away from aggression. Show that we are headed in the right direction. With the intention of a with the intention of a redemption. Practice affection instead of oppression. Used to think my empathy was the enemy, but it's part of my identity, my destiny. So just keep this in mind. So these were some notes for a YouTube video and just some notes for myself. Talking about setting boundaries. Okay. So you know what? I think I actually am going to go into the Akashic reading for this lifetime real quick. And so all that the only information that you give them is your name and date of birth. They access the Akashic records for these past lives. In your past life, you lived as Enheduanna, a high priestess in the ancient city of Ur, located in what is now known as Mesopotamia, around 3500 BC. You are not only a spiritual leader, but also the world's first recorded author, an exceptional figure whose hymns and poems celebrated the goddess Inanna. Your writings were not merely acts of devotion, they were also pivotal in shaping the religious and cultural landscape of your time. Your life was deeply intertwined with the temple of the moon god Nana, where you performed your duties. You were entrusted with significant responsibilities, from conducting elaborate rituals to maintaining the spiritual welfare of your community. Your role extended beyond religious duties, involving you in the political and social spheres of Ur. This position of influence was rare for a woman in those times, highlighting your exceptional intellect and spiritual depth. Your literary contributions were profound, weaving together theological concepts and human emotions with remarkable eloquence. These works were more than religious texts. They were pieces of art that expressed the complexities of your relationship with the divine, particularly with Inanna, who embodied strength, fertility, and sovereignty. Through your poetry, you explored themes of empowerment, struggle, and spiritual devotion, which resonated deeply with your contemporaries and preserved your voice through millennia. Today, echoes of this life may manifest in your own through a continued connection to the divine feminine and a passion for expressing yourself through words. You might find yourself drawn to roles where you can influence and inspire others, much like a modern-day priestess. Your ability to articulate deep and complex feelings could be a direct inheritance from her legacy, compelling you to write, speak, or create in fields that resonate with her ancient hymns. Moreover, your interest in themes of empowerment, especially in relation to women's roles and rights, might be a reflection of her influence on your spiritual and intellectual pursuits. The drive to explore and connect with the divine feminine could be seen in your attraction to spaces where female voices are celebrated and uplifted. So if you have been around my channel for a minute, you know a lot of my videos are about exactly that, supporting women and helping them learn things that I had to learn the hard way, such as how to build confidence, how to love yourself, how to set boundaries. It's about empowering women. Understanding this past life offers valuable insights into your current inclinations and talents. It highlights a spiritual and creative lineage that has shaped your journey across lifetimes. By embracing these qualities, you can continue to nurture your connection to the divine feminine and use your voice to inspire and empower. This connection not only enriches your personal growth, but also allows you to contribute to the world with a profound sense of purpose and insight. Soul's journey in essence. Natalie, your soul radiates with the energy of creativity, compassion, and wisdom. Throughout countless lifetimes, you have embraced roles that involve nurturing others, spreading joy, and seeking a profound understanding of life's mysteries. You are a natural empath with a strong intuitive sense, allowing you to connect with others on a deep emotional level. This ability has made you a source of comfort and support for many as you intuitively understand the needs and feelings of those around you. Healer and nurturer. Across your lifetimes, you have often served as a healer, focusing on both physical and emotional well-being. Your natural inclination to care for others and your intuitive understanding of holistic healing practices have been prominent throughout your soul's journey. Whether as a caretaker, counselor, or spiritual guide, your presence brings comfort, solace, and a healing energy. People are drawn to you for your ability to listen without judgment and provide wisdom that comes from a place of deep compassion. Artist and visionary. In addition to your role as a healer, you have also embraced paths that allowed your creative expression to flourish. Your appreciation for beauty, creativity, and self-expression has always been a strong force in your life. You possess a unique ability to see the world through the eyes of an artist, finding inspiration in the everyday and using your creativity to inspire and uplift others. This artistic vision is not limited to traditional forms of art, but extends to the way you approach life itself, bringing creativity to your problem solving, your interactions with others, and the way you shape your personal environment. Your creativity is a reflection of your soul's desire to express the divine and help others see the world through a lens of beauty and wonder. Current lifetime focus. In this lifetime, Natalie, your primary focus is on embracing your creative and healing gifts and using them to bring light and joy to the world. Your journey involves recognizing and developing your talents, both artistic and empathetic, and using them to make a positive impact on others. Challenges and lessons. Overcoming self-doubt. You may struggle with self-doubt and the fear of not being enough. This self-doubt can sometimes manifest as a reluctance to share your creative or healing gifts with others. The lesson here is to trust in your abilities and recognize the value of your gifts. Your compassion and creativity are powerful tools that can create meaningful change in the lives of those you touch. Embrace your worth and step confidently into your role as a healer and a creator. Setting boundaries. You may also face challenges related to setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. Your empathetic nature can lead you to take on the emotions and burdens of others, which can result in feelings of overwhelm. It's crucial to establish boundaries that protect your energy and assure that you're not depleting yourself in the process of helping others. Learning to say no when necessary and prioritizing your own needs will allow you to maintain your emotional and spiritual health. That was definitely a lesson I had to learn. Okay, I'm not going to read all of that, but all right, next life. In your past life, you lived as Octavia in ancient Rome around 50 BC. Octavia was a highly esteemed physician, deeply immersed in the intricate and evolving world of healing. From a tender age, your innate curiosity about the human body and its ailments drove you towards the path of medicine. Fascinated by the potent remedies that could be derived from nature, you dedicated yourself to mastering the use of plants and herbs. This burgeoning interest propelled you to seek out the most learned healers of the time, from whom you gained a profound and comprehensive understanding of the body's anatomy and the diverse surgical techniques that were groundbreaking for the era. Octavia's medical practice was strategically located in the bustling heart of Rome, where the sheer volume of patients and the variety of ailments presented a constant challenge. From soldiers returning from the battlefield with grievous injuries to citizens suffering from everyday maladies, you encountered an array of medical conditions. Your reputation for combining herbal remedies with precise surgical interventions spread rapidly throughout the city and beyond. People from all walks of life sought your expertise, entrusting you with their health and their lives. Your approach was not merely clinical, it was deeply compassionate and holistic. You took the time to understand your patient's personal histories, emotional states, and social contexts, which allowed you to provide care that was both effective and empathetic. All right, I don't want to read the whole thing. This past life as Octavia has a profound and lasting impact on your current existence. The extensive knowledge and deep compassion you cultivated then continues to resonate within you now. You may find yourself naturally gravitating towards the healthcare field or other helping professions, possessing an inherent understanding of medical concepts and a strong desire to alleviate the suffering of others. Your healing touch, whether through physical means or emotional support, is a direct link to your past expertise. Additionally, the empathy and dedication you once displayed manifest in your current relationships, where people often seek your counsel and comfort. The respect and admiration you earn through your unwavering commitment to others continue to influence how you interact with those around you. In your past life, you lived as Fatima, a revered scholar, poet, and spiritual guide in the kingdom of Algeciras. Wait, how do you pronounce that?
Algeciras.
Algeciras. Okay, we got it. In the kingdom of Algeciras, around 1612 AD. You were born into a family that held knowledge and spiritual insight in high regard, which set you on a unique path from an early age. Even as a child, you displayed a sharp intellect and a profound curiosity, devouring any texts or oral traditions you could access. Growing up in Algeciras, a region marked by its blend in Islamic, Christian, and Jewish cultures, you were exposed to a rich diversity of ideas, philosophies, and spiritual practices. This environment shaped your worldview, fostering a deep appreciation for unity and diversity, and it was this principle that would guide much of your later work. As you matured, you became known for your gift with words, both spoken and written. While most women of your time were expected to remain in domestic roles, your intellectual brilliance could not be confined. You were fortunate enough to have family members who recognized and nurtured your talents, securing you access to education typically reserved for men. By your late teens, you were already engaged in scholarly discussions with prominent thinkers of your era. You were often invited to gatherings where the elite of
Algeciras.
Would meet to discuss theology, philosophy, poetry, and politics. Although you were among the few women in these circles, your opinions were respected and your insights were often sought after. You chose poetry as your primary medium of expression, not simply for its artistic value, but because it allowed you to convey profound spiritual truths through metaphor, symbolism, and layered meanings. Your verses were deeply reflective, often exploring themes of divine love, the transient nature of the material world, and the interconnectedness of all creation. Many of your poems served as meditations on spiritual concepts, drawing on the mystical traditions of Sufism, which resonated with your inner quest for divine unity. Your poetry wasn't limited to spiritual themes alone. You also wrote about the struggles of ordinary people, social injustices, and the beauty of nature, all while maintaining an undertone of spiritual reflection. Your influence wasn't confined to your written work. You were also a teacher, guiding not just young women, but also men who recognized your depth of knowledge and sought your wisdom. All right, blah, 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 blah. As the years passed, your reputation grew, and you began to receive requests from nobles and religious leaders to offer counsel in various matters. You were also particularly adept at navigating disputes, using your understanding of human nature and spiritual principles to mediate conflicts. Despite your public role, you were a deeply introspective person. You spent many hours in solitude, walking by the coast or retreating into quiet rooms in your home to meditate and connect with the divine. These moments of solitude were essential for you to replenish your spiritual energy, which was often drained by the demands placed on you by others. You viewed solitude not as loneliness, but as an opportunity to dive deeper into the mysteries of existence, exploring questions that had no simple answers. You sought to understand the soul's journey, the nature of reality, and the eternal interplay between light and shadow, all of which influenced your poetry and teachings. So clearly I'm an introvert in most of my other lives. One of the most significant influences from this past life is your relationship with solitude. Just as Fatima sought out moments of quiet reflection to nourish her spirit, you may find that solitude is not only comfortable, but essential for your well-being. It is in these moments of quiet that you are most connected to your inner wisdom and can access the deeper layers of your consciousness. However, this can also lead to a sense of isolation or loneliness, especially when you feel that others around you do not understand the depths of your thoughts or spiritual insights. This feeling of being somewhat out of sync with the world is a carryover from your past life, where your wisdom and intellectual pursuits set you apart from others. On a deeper spiritual level, your past life as Fatima has left you with a subtle yet persistent sense of longing, an inner drive to seek truth, wisdom, and a connection to the divine. The drive may manifest as an ongoing quest for spiritual knowledge, a fascination with mysticism, or a desire to explore various philosophical traditions. At the same time, you may also feel an undercurrent of yearning for a sense of belonging, whether it's within a spiritual community or through finding kindred spirits who resonate with your worldview. Alright, this will be the last one. In your past life, you lived as Haru, a meticulous calligrapher during the Heian period of medieval Japan around 950 AD. You were born into a family of artisans, highly respected for their contributions to the artistic and cultural developments of the time. From a young age, you showed great promise in the art of writing, drawing, the admiration of your elders and teachers. Calligraphy in your culture was not merely a skill or trade, but a revered art form, reflecting the philosophical and spiritual depth of the writer. The written word held immense power, symbolizing both beauty and intellect, and those who mastered it were seen as custodians of knowledge and refinement. Your early years were spent under the tutelage of some of the finest scholars and calligraphers of your time. You learn not only the technical aspects of the art, but also the deeper meanings behind every stroke, every curve, and every space left on the page. Each character you wrote was infused with intentionality, symbolizing more than just its literal meaning. It represented the flow of energy, the harmony of the universe, and the wisdom of the ancients. You practiced day and night, perfecting your technique, dedicating yourself fully to mastering the form. This intense focus became the central theme of your life. By the time you reached adulthood, your reputation as a master calligrapher had spread through the noble courts. You were commissioned by some of the highest-ranking members of the aristocracy to create official documents, letters, and works of poetry. Your style was praised for its elegance and precision, and your work was considered invaluable. Nobles would sometimes wait for months to receive a piece of your writing, which was often displayed in their homes as a symbol of both cultural sophistication and spiritual enlightenment. Your calligraphy was more than just aesthetically pleasing. It was believed to carry the essence of the divine, imbued with a sense of sacredness. In your daily life, you lived simply and humbly. Despite your fame within the upper classes, you remained focused on your work and your spiritual path. The world around you was tumultuous with political shifts and societal changes, but you found peace in the order and discipline of your craft. Your home was modest, located near a quiet temple, where the sounds of chanting monks and the rustle of nature created an atmosphere of serenity. Alright, While your work was highly valued, you led a relatively solitary life. We're noticing a theme yet. You were not the one to seek the company of others often, preferring the quiet and introspective nature of your craft. Relationships with others were respectful but distant. You were admired by many, though you kept yourself apart from the distractions of social engagements, as they did not hold the same importance to you as the inner journey you were on. This self-imposed isolation allowed you to dedicate more time to your art, but it also led to moments of loneliness, a feeling that something was missing in your connection to the world around you. Despite the respect you garnered from the nobility, there was a part of you that longed for deeper emotional bonds, which you often tried to channel into your calligraphy, hoping to express feelings you rarely shared aloud. Spiritually, you were deeply connected to the concept of wabi-sabi, the Japanese aesthetic that embraces the beauty of imperfection and the transient nature of life. This philosophy guided your approach to both your art and your personal beliefs. You recognized the fleeting nature of existence and sought to capture this delicate balance between perfection and impermanence in every piece of work you created. This past life may be deeply influencing your current life in several ways. First, you may find yourself drawn to artistic and creative pursuits that require precision, focus, and dedication. Whether it's writing, painting, or any form of craftsmanship, you likely have a natural talent for activities that involve a high degree of skill and attention to detail. This could manifest in hobbies or even in your professional life, where you may feel a deep sense of fulfillment when working on projects that allow you to express beauty through meticulous work. You may also have a strong appreciation for fine art and craftsmanship. Additionally, your past life's connection to solitude and introspection may explain why you sometimes feel more comfortable in quiet, peaceful environments where you can focus on your inner world. You might find that you need periods of solitude to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with yourself. There may also be a sense of seeking perfection in the things you do, whether it's your creative endeavors or your approach to life. This desire for refinement and mastery, which was central to Haru's life, could still resonate with you today, driving you to push yourself towards excellence in all that you undertake. Yeah, I'm definitely a perfectionist. Okay, so as you can see, that one Akashic reading about, my purpose and my roles in this lifetime, which are healer and artist, it seems like those have been common themes in all my past lives. And the healer or an artist in either a healer or an artist or both. And just interests and hobbies that I have now, I see where they came from. So I will leave where I got these past readings from in the description if you're interested. I definitely think you would be blown away by some of the readings you would get. And I definitely think they're helpful in just understanding yourself more, understanding your purpose in this life more, and yeah.